You sit there scrolling, swiping, chasing shadows on a screen. Your heart races, your mind churns, and yet you feel nothing but the gnawing void inside. You're a man, but you've forgotten what that means. You've been told women hold the keys to your desire, your purpose, your soul. Freud's ghost whispers in your ear, sexuality is the root of all things, the unconscious, a labyrinth where women reign as queens. But is it true? Are women truly in control? Or have you surrendered your power to a lie? Here's the first truth: you've been seduced by illusion. Carl Jung, that titan of the psyche, saw it clearly. The anima, the feminine within a man's soul, is the archetype of life itself. She is not a woman you chase in the flesh. She is the projection of your own unconscious, a siren luring you to shipwreck. You see her in every glance, every curve, every fleeting smile. You think she controls you, but she is you. Your obsession with her is not love, not desire. It's worship of a phantom you've conjured. And you've knelt too long at her altar. Let me be clear. Freud was half right. Sexuality drives you. Yes, but it's not a chain women fasten around your neck. It's a fire in your blood, a primal force you've never learned to master. You think women wield it because you've never faced the beast within. Jung warned, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. You call it fate when she rejects you, when she ghosts you, when she leaves you broken. But it's not her. It's you. Your shadow, your unclaimed power, your refusal to confront the chaos inside. Here's the second truth. Women are not your salvation or your ruin. You've been taught to see them as goddesses or demons, but they are neither. They are mirrors. Jung said, the meeting with oneself is at first the meeting with one's own shadow. When you chase her, you're chasing the parts of yourself you've disowned, your strength, your purpose, your truth. You think she holds the key to your happiness, but she doesn't. She can't. She's not your mother, not your muse, not your master. She's a reflection of your own fractured soul, and you've been staring too long into the glass. Let me be clear. You've been lied to. The world tells you women control the game, sex, love, power. Freud's obsession with the Oedipus complex fed this myth, the mother, as the first object of desire, the eternal feminine as the source of all longing. But Jung saw deeper. The anima is not the woman you love. She is the image of your soul's yearning. You've mistaken the symbol for the source. You've given women power they don't have because you've refused to claim your own. You think her approval will make you whole, but it won't. It never will. She doesn't control your unconscious, she reveals it. Every time you falter, every time you beg for her attention, every time you reshape yourself to fit her whims, you're not serving her. You're betraying yourself. Jung's words cut like a blade. The greatest sin is to be unconscious. You've sinned, brother. You've let the world convince you that your worth lies in her eyes, that your strength depends on her touch. And so you stumble lost in a maze of your own making, calling it love, calling it desire, calling it life. Here's the third truth. The unconscious is a battlefield, and you're losing. Freud saw it as a cauldron of repressed desires, but Jung knew better. It's a realm of archetypes, of primal forces that shape your every thought, your every act. The anima, the feminine within, is not your enemy, but you've made her one. You've let her seduce you, distract you, pull you from your path. You think women control you because you've never faced her in the dark corners of your soul. You've never asked, why do I need her? Why do I fear her? Why do I let her define me? Let me be clear. This is not about women. This is about you. You've been running from the truth Jung laid bare. The way to the goal is through oneself. Not through her bed, not through her words, not through her fleeting affection. Through you. Through the fire of your own unconscious, through the shadow you've ignored, through the man you've forgotten how to be. You think women hold the reins because you've handed them over. You've let their beauty, their mystery, their chaos become your chains. But chains are forged by the weak, and you were not born to be weak. She doesn't own your soul, you do. But you've forgotten how to claim it. You've let Freud's ghost whisper lies that sex is your master, that women are its priestesses. Jung's truth is harder, sharper. The individuation process is the conscious coming to terms with one's own inner center. Individuation, becoming whole, becoming a man, is not a gift she gives you. It's a war you fight alone. Every time you chase her, you lose ground. Every time you seek her validation, you surrender. Every time you let her define you, you die a little more inside. Here's the fourth truth. You are not a victim. The world wants you to believe you are helpless, before her beauty powerless, before her rejection. But Jung's voice thunders through the ages. Man's task is to become conscious of the contents that press upward from the unconscious. Your task is not to win her love, not to conquer her body, not to prove yourself to her. Your task is to conquer yourself, to face the anima not as a goddess to worship or a demon to fear, but as a part of you that must be integrated, mastered, made whole. Let me be clear. Women are not your problem. Your problem is you. You've let the unconscious rule you. Let the anima seduce you. Let the world convince you that your strength lies outside yourself. You've believed the lie that she controls your fate. But she doesn't. She can't. She's not your queen, not your captor, not your destiny. She's a mirror, and what you see in her is what you've refused to see in yourself. Jung's warning is your wake-up call. The shadow does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. She doesn't hold the answers, you do. But you've been too afraid to look. You've hidden from the darkness within, from the rage, the fear, the longing that churns in your depths. You've projected it onto her, made her the source of your pain, your desire, your purpose. And so you're lost, chasing a phantom, begging for scraps of affection, reshaping yourself to fit a mold that was never yours. You're a man, but you've forgotten what that means. You've forgotten the fire in your bones, the iron in your will, the truth in your soul. Here's the final truth you can choose. Jung said, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." You can choose to keep chasing her, keep kneeling at her altar, keep letting the unconscious rule you. You can choose to believe Freud's half-truths, to see women as the source of your longing, the key to your salvation. You can choose to stay lost, to stay weak, to stay asleep. Or you can choose to wake up, to face the anima not as a goddess or a demon, but as a part of you that must be claimed. To walk the path of individuation, not for her, not for the world, but for you. Let me be clear, this is not easy. The path Jung laid out is not for the faint of heart. It's a descent into the abyss, a confrontation with the shadow, a reckoning with the man you failed to be. It's pain, it's struggle, it's sacrifice. But it's also power. It's the power to stand alone, to define yourself, to master the fire within. It's the power to look at her not as a queen, not as a captor, but as a woman flawed and human, no more or less than you. It's the power to live as a man, not a slave to desire, not a puppet of the unconscious, but a force of will, of purpose, of truth. She doesn't control you. She never did. The anima is not her, it's you. The unconscious is not her domain, it's yours. The power is not hers, it's yours. But you must claim it. You must face the darkness, confront the shadow, integrate the anima. You must stop chasing phantoms and start building a man. Not for her, not for the world, but for you. Here's your challenge, brother. Walk alone or die slowly inside. The world will tempt you to stay asleep, to keep chasing her, to keep believing she holds the keys to your soul. But she doesn't. The keys are in your hands, buried in the depths of your unconscious, waiting for you to claim them. Walk the path Jung laid out, the path of individuation, of self-mastery, of truth. Face the anima, face the shadow, face the man you failed to be. Or stay where you are, lost in the labyrinth, dying a little more with every swipe, every text, every rejection. Choose now. The clock is ticking. Your soul is at stake. Walk alone and become the man you were born to be. Or stay and let the unconscious consume you. The choice is yours. But know this, no one, not her, not Freud, not the world can make it for you. You sit there scrolling, swiping, chasing shadows on a screen. Your heart pounds, your mind races, but you're nowhere closer to truth. You're a man, yet you feel like a boy. Lost adrift, tethered to desires you don't understand. You've been told women hold the keys to your salvation, that their approval, their bodies, their fleeting glances will make you whole. But you're bleeding out, aren't you? Every rejection, every unanswered message, every cold stare carves another wound into your soul. You're not in control. You never were. And deep down, you know it. Let me be clear. This is not about blame. This is not about women. This is about you. Your mind, your unconscious, your chains. You've been lied to, seduced by a world that whispers softness and promises ease. But the truth is brutal, and it's time you faced it. Sigmund Freud, the father of the unconscious, saw it clearly. Your desires, your drives, your sexuality, they're not yours to command. They bubble up from the dark, from the id, that primal furnace where your animal self howls. And women, they're not your masters nor your saviors. They're mirrors reflecting back the chaos you refuse to confront. Here's the first truth: you are not your conscious mind. You think you choose your desires, your obsessions, your endless pursuit of her. You don't. Carl Jung, the seer of the psyche, warned you. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Your hunger for her beauty, her validation, her power over you is not love, nor lust, nor destiny. It's your shadow, the unclaimed part of you, screaming for integration. You chase her because you're running from yourself. You worship her because you've abandoned your own divinity. Let me be clear. Women are not in control. Not of you, not of your soul, not of the fire that burns in your chest. But you've given them that power, haven't you? You've knelt before their altar, offered your strength, your dignity, your purpose, all for a fleeting taste of their approval. Freud saw it in the Oedipus complex, the boy's primal longing for the mother, the eternal feminine. You're still that boy, aren't you? Craving her warmth, her acceptance, her control. But she cannot save you. She cannot make you whole. She is not your mother, nor your goddess, nor your enemy. She is a woman as lost in her own unconscious as you are in yours. Here's the second truth. Your sexuality is not your enemy, but you've made it your master. Freud called it the libido, the life force, the raw energy that drives you to create, to conquer, to connect. But you've twisted it, haven't you? You've chained it to her image, her body, her whims. You've let it become a leash, pulling you through dating apps, through empty conversations, through nights of self-loathing. Jung would spit on this. He saw the libido as the spark of the divine, the force that could lead you to individuation, to becoming a whole man. But you've squandered it on fleeting pleasures, on fantasies that dissolve in the morning light. Let me be clear. She doesn't control your desire. You do. Or rather, you could, if you dared to face the abyss within Nietzsche. The prophet of the Übermensch thundered this truth. That which is done out of love always takes place beyond good and evil. Your love, your desire, your obsession with her, it's not good nor evil. it's yours. But you've let it run wild, untamed, undirected. You've let it define you, reduce you, enslave you. You think she holds the reins because she can say no, because she can walk away, because she can choose. But her power is an illusion you've created. You've handed her the whip, and now you wonder why it stings. Here's the third truth. The unconscious is not your prison. It's your battlefield. Freud mapped it, Jung explored it, Nietzsche conquered it. They all knew the mind is a labyrinth, and you're lost in its depths. Your fears, your insecurities, your endless need for her approval. They're not truths. They're shadows, archetypes, complexes. Jung called them the anima, the feminine within you, the seductive voice that whispers weakness. She's not out there in her eyes or her smile. She's in you, a projection of your unclaimed soul. And until you face her, until you wrestle her into submission, you'll never be free. Let me be clear, she doesn't own you. No woman does. But you've acted like they do, haven't you? You've let their beauty, their mystery, their rejection define your worth. You've let the world tell you that a man is only a man if a woman says so. Schopenhauer. That grim sage saw through this lie. The sexual impulse is the kernel of the will to live. Your desire for her is not just about her, it's about life itself, about your refusal to die, to fade, to surrender. But you've misdirected it. You've poured it into her, hoping she'll reflect back a version of yourself you can stand to look at. She can't. She won't. That's not her role. Here's the fourth truth. Control is not domination, but mastery. You think control means bending her to your will, winning her affection, securing her loyalty. You're wrong. True control is internal, unyielding absolute. Jung said, the greatest harm is done by the silent majority that submits. You've been that silent majority, haven't you? Submitting to her whims, to society's lies, to your own weakness. You've let the unconscious rule you, let your desires drag you through the mud. Mastery is not about conquering her, it's about conquering you. Your fears, your doubts, your endless need for validation. That's the war you're fighting, and you're losing. Let me be clear, she doesn't define you. Her approval, her rejection, her presence or absence, they're irrelevant. Freud saw the ego as a fragile thing battered by the id and the superego, by desire and duty. You've let your ego collapse, haven't you? You've let it become a servant to her gaze, her words, her choices. But you are more than your ego. You are the self, what Jung called the archetype of wholeness. You are the king, the warrior, the creator, but you've forgotten, haven't you? You've traded your crown for a swipe, your sword for a text, your fire for a fleeting touch. Here's the fifth truth: women are not your mystery to solve. Freud obsessed over female sexuality, calling it the dark continent, unknowable, untamable. Jung went further, seeing the feminine as the anima, the soul's guide to the unconscious. But you've misunderstood them both. You've made her the enigma, the puzzle, the lock you must pick to feel alive. She's not. She's human, as flawed, as driven, as unconscious as you. Her power over you is not her strength, it's your weakness. You've projected your own chaos onto her, and now you're drowning in it. Let me be clear, she doesn't hold the answers. You do. But you're afraid to look, aren't you? Afraid to dive into the dark, to face the monsters in your unconscious. Nietzsche knew this fear. Beware that when fighting monsters, you yourself do not become a monster. You've become one, haven't you? A monster of need, of desperation, of self-betrayal. You've let her become the dragon, the temptress, the judge. But she's not. She's just a woman navigating her own labyrinth. The real dragon is within you, and it's time you slew it. Here's the final truth: you are alone, and that's your strength. Not loneliness, not isolation, but solitude, the crucible where men are forged. Jung said, "The way to the goal is through the self." You cannot find yourself in her arms, her bed, her approval. You find yourself in the silence, in the struggle, in the fire of your own becoming. You've been running from this, haven't you? Running toward her, toward distraction, toward anything that numbs the ache of your own incompleteness. But you cannot run forever. The unconscious will catch you. Your shadow will claim you. And when it does, you'll wish you'd faced it sooner. Let me be clear, she doesn't complete you. No one does. You are the architect of your soul, the master of your fate. But you've outsourced your purpose, haven't you? You've let her, let the world, let your own weakness dictate who you are. Freud saw the unconscious as a battlefield. Jung as a journey, Nietzsche as a war. They all agreed you cannot escape it. You must face it, fight it, master it. And you must do it alone. Not because women are unworthy, but because they cannot walk this path for you. They cannot bear your cross. So here's your challenge, your transformation, your reckoning. You have two paths before you, and you must choose now. The first path is to walk alone. Not forever, not in bitterness, but in strength. To dive into your unconscious, to face your shadow, to claim your power. To become the man you were born to be, not for her, not for the world, but for you. This path is brutal. It will break you, strip you, remake you, but it will make you whole. The second path is to die slowly inside. To keep chasing her, keep swiping, keep begging for scraps of validation. To let your unconscious rule you, let your desires enslave you, let your life slip away in a haze of distraction and despair. This path is easy. It's familiar. It's what you've been doing, isn't it? But it's death, not of the body, but of the soul. Choose now. Walk alone or die slowly. There is no middle ground, no compromise, no escape. Jung warned you, there is no coming to consciousness without pain. You will hurt. You will bleed. But you will become. Or you will fade a shadow of a man, haunted by what could have been. You are not a boy. You are not a slave. You are a man. Act